You are welcome here, just the way you are. No more hiding tears, no more covering scars. You are welcome, holy welcome. You are welcome here, just the way you want to be. Bring your deepest hopes and all your wildest dreams. You are welcome, holy welcome, holy welcome.
Holy space. You are welcome here to join us in our meditation before service today. It is my pleasure to be your guide and support in meditation. So for those who are listening, I invite you to settle in wherever you are. And if you feel comfortable, letting your eyes close. And we bring our attention to the breath, the holy breath. And with each inhale, I invite us to let go. Let go of the busyness of the morning. And just be fully present right here, right now. And we bring our attention to the breath, noticing where does the air enter, where does the air leave. Remembering that we're participating in the circulation of life. We breathe in the oxygen from the air that is provided by nature, the trees, the plants. And as we exhale our carbon dioxide, which is then breathed in by the trees and the plants and the earth. So we are part of all of life, just breathing. And now expanding your awareness to your whole body. Feeling your feet on the floor. Allowing the sound of the bell to be that call to the present moment. As we feel the feet on the floor, our sit bones in the chair, our hands resting. And now we expand our awareness to sound. The beautiful sound of the bells and the bowls in the background. Allowing the sound to be soothing and to bring peace. And as we practice meditation, it is a time to invite the busy mind to rest, to become calm, to fade into the background. And so for the next minute of silence, I invite each one of us to choose a place to anchor our attention. It might be to focus on the breath, or to feel the feet on the ground, or maybe to allow the sound of the bells to be that coming back to the moment. Have a place to come home to when the mind wanders off, because that's what it'll do. Just come back to the present moment. And if the mind has wandered away, gently and compassionately, just come back to the anchor, the breath, the body, or sound. And as we bring our meditation time to a close, I just invite each one of us to let each moment be a precious moment as we enter into spring and commit to transformation. It begins in this moment with each one of us. Namaste.
You are welcome here, just the way you are. No more hiding tears, no more covering scars. You are welcome, holy welcome. You are welcome here, just the way you want to be. Bring your deepest hopes and all your wildest dreams. You are welcome, holy welcome, holy welcome.
Morning,
and welcome. We are so delighted to have you here today. Welcome to CSL St. George. We are an open, loving, and inclusive community that supports thinking creatively and living a deeply spiritual life. Thank you, Reverend Hannah. The meditation was wonderful. And just a note to Marina and Cheryl, for those of you that listened to this new video, this is the first time I'd heard it. It was so well done. We have so many talented people. Thank you, thank you. So my name is Gwen Hadley. I'll be hosting and guiding you through this service today. Wanted to let you know who is here with us today. We have Marina Anderson behind the scenes, making sure that everything's running smoothly. Cheryl Barlow, our beautiful music, she'll be singing actually a song. One of the songs she sings, she wrote, The Grandmother Willow. So looking forward to that. Anita Chef will provide the invocation. And again, we have Reverend Hannah that not only did the meditation, but will also provide the message on this last Sunday in March. Our theme continues, open to possibilities, and she'll speak of commit to transformation, which is so appropriate for spring. So with that, good morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, Gwen. So happy to be here with everyone.
Oh, so glad you're here.
Yay. So we're just going to do this. This is a traditional Buddhist prayer that New Thought artist Karen Drucker adapted into song. And I'm going to go through it, and we're going to get a beautiful invocation from Anita, and then we're going to sing together. So here we go. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease, and may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease, and I am happy. I'd like to invite Anita in to provide our invocation. Good morning, Anita.
Good morning, everybody. I invite you now to just close your eyes, take in a nice breath, and as you let it go, feel your whole body relax. Feel that flow of life that moves through each one of us. I know there is one life, one love, one infinitely creative intelligence that lives, moves, and has its being in me and in every person, in everything that has ever been created. I feel the presence of that light right now as we come into this service today. There's deep loving energy flowing through each person who is participating in this service today. Whether it's participating as a speaker, as a musician, in prayer, or simply in the consciousness of being here with all of us. I celebrate that life. I celebrate the possibilities that exist in this expansive life and on this spiritual journey. And I recognize that as each one of us is committed to a spiritual journey, whether we are aware of it or not, it is our purpose here to step onto that spiritual path, to know fully who we are, what we are, that we are a part of the divine and that we are here to be the expression of God as love, as peace, as joy, as abundance. And so I speak this word today of commitment to that spiritual journey. I let go of any hesitation to step onto that path. I surrender any fear of change, any desire for sameness, and I embrace the opportunity for growth, for unity, for love and peace, to embrace the entire earth. I know that with the vibration that I put forth and that each one of us puts forth in consciousness, that things change. The world changes bit by bit, person by person. And it's a beautiful thing. And so with deep gratitude, I simply surrender myself to this service and all that can be learned today. And I give thanks for all of the blessings that flow right back to each one of us. I know that all is well, and I simply let it be as it is spoken. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Absolutely beautiful. So we just are gonna share our voices in this unity, and the lyrics will be on screen, and you can sing this and we can pray this together. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. Okay, back to you, Gwen, for our sacred reading.
Thank you. So our beautiful sacred reading, I invite all of you to speak the words out loud. I think it really gives energy and power to those words. So there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. I know that I am one with this life. I know that I am one with all its blessed expressions, which include the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express God. I therefore know that my new minister reveals wholeness. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which we believe. For it is written by Ernest Holmes, let us learn to draw the divine substance down into our own lives. And as freely as it has been given to us, let us give it to others. Thus alone shall we be made whole. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as growing the center in joy and prosperity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing the truth about myself. for I live the presence and law of God. I demonstrate wisdom through a mature understanding of the wholeness of life. I am accountable and willing to take full responsibility for my actions. I participate in and support the nurturance and guidance of the community. I act from wholeness and congruence in thought, word, and action. I walk the talk. Please express your personal truth here. I embrace. I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, knowing that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am so grateful, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. I love our covenant, and definitely excited for the minister that is getting ready to come join our dynamic community. So, as Gwen said, we are still talking about we are open to possibilities, and today's focus is commit to transformation. During isolation caused by the COVID pandemic, freelance writer Cal Flynn experienced a beautiful and soothing relationship with nature. She wrote in an article for Prospect.com the simplicity with which nature responded to change. She said, "Every day the sun rose a little earlier and a little higher. A new flower opened. Gradually, winter's dun landscape was transformed, blade by blade, bud by bud. As chicks hatched from eggs, every crack in every dry stone wall was noisy with their demands, a chattering from all directions. Dandelions shone like gold coins, closed, metamorphosed, and then reopened as clocks, shedding seed into the wind like snow. The caterpillars sealed themselves away in chrysalises and cocoons, dissolved and reformed as butterflies and moths. Human beings often lack nature's ease and face transformation with resistance, but when we're willing, we can let go and learn to have the same faith. And what better testimony to trust in the highest idea of our own lives than the startlingly beautiful and delicate precision of creation unfolding all around us. I had such an experience at an outing in Zion National Park, and this is this song. It came from that experience. Grandmother Willow, tell me a story. When you were small, were there birds in your leaves? Did they build nests and raise all their babies? Did you watch them grow, see them fly on a breeze? Did the first kiss of the sun promise spring had sprung? Did the rain soak your roots, grow them firm and absolute? Did life breathe life into you? Grandmother Willow, now that you're older, do the lizards climb high? Do the deer love your shade? Your branches are tall, your reach is eternal. Do the mountains take notice and bow when you wave? Do the caterpillars dream of magic stained glass wings? Does the snake burrow inside your caverns deep and wide? Do you breathe life into life? Have you seen the face of love? What truths are you sure of? Please whisper soft and sweet the secrets that you keep. Will you breathe life into me? Grandmother Willow, tell me a story.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Gwen.
Myself and others spent some time yesterday in nature among the willows, so that song is so poignant. Beautiful, thank you. So it's my privilege to welcome Reverend Hannah. Reverend Hannah, welcome back and welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you, Gwen. It's so wonderful to have an opportunity to be with all of you on this last Sunday of the month, to have an opportunity to summarize and encapsulate this month's theme, which is open to possibilities. I so appreciated Anita's opening prayer about infinite and open possibilities. I always appreciate Cheryl's music and that beautiful nature song of Grandmother Willow, and spending time with nature and listening to the wisdom of nature. So we're in this month of March, which is a flurry of springtime celebrations around the world. And in the Christian tradition, today is Palm Sunday, and it's the beginning of Holy Week, preparing for Easter and the death and resurrection of Jesus. And it's also the beginning of Passover in the Jewish tradition. And there are many, many traditions around the world that have its deep origins in the coming of spring, the spring equinox, which we had last week on March 21st. So I just want to speak to the various holy holidays that are happening right now. And I also want to just speak to current events that are happening in our world right now. And I want to start by revisiting the vision and mission for Centers for Spiritual Living. The Center for Spiritual Living has a mission to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation, not transportation, transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And the vision of Centers for Spiritual Living is a world that works for everyone. Now, I don't know about you, but when I came into this philosophy early on, I so embrace these affirmations and the vision we have for our organization. And I wrestled a bit with what was happening in current events, what was happening in the world, what's happening in the world right now. And what I wanted to just speak to briefly today before I get into my talk on committing to transformation is the way that our larger organization is supporting our communities and supporting our people with how do we sit with and be with what's happening in the current environment of our world. And so I wanted to share just a brief paragraph of email and news release that our headquarters in Golden, Colorado puts out when we have big events. And so I just wanted to speak to the event that has been happening in Boulder, Colorado. So our larger organization is sharing information and support for all of us as we hold these various events that are happening in our country and in our world. So I just wanted to share this paragraph out of a longer email that came and just let you know that this is a way that we are speaking about and praying about the event in Boulder, Colorado. Let us join in knowing that the families of the victims and the perpetrator find peace in their hearts over the coming days and months. Let us know that the community of Boulder is receiving the love, the guidance, and support of all those involved in the frontline work of this event. Let us know, while we do not understand what has occurred, nor its cause, that all involved are held in love by the community, by the state, by the country, and the world, as the news ripples out across the planet. And so I just want to invite all of us to know that we as a philosophy and an organization are aware of what's going on, and we acknowledge the challenges that we're facing. I also wanted to share another news release that went out as a call for solidarity that might be helpful for you. And so regarding the events in Atlanta earlier this month, our home office and leadership sent out this as a beginning of much more information available, saying that we acknowledge that the violence against Asian and Pacific Islander communities has risen worldwide. We acknowledge the pain and the trauma and the fear that other communities worldwide might be experiencing as they become aware of the violence occurring in the Asian and Pacific Island communities. For this reason, we offer a call to spiritually motivated social activism and invite you to join in solidarity with these communities. To promote understanding, tolerance, compassion, we offer a variety of resources so that we can learn more about this. And I haven't included this long list of resources in this particular slide, but if you're interested in what those resources are, feel free to reach out to me, or actually reach out also to Center for Spiritual Living St. George, and we'll make sure that you get a copy of those resources that are available. The reason I just want to bring current events into the myriad of holidays and also this theme is to make our philosophy and make our spiritual tradition applicable to modern day. So I'd like to now shift into the theme for today, which is commit to transformation. And I want to start off by sharing a video by Reverend Edward Billion. He is our community spiritual leader. And before we jump into that video, I want to share this quote by our founder, Ernest Holmes, regarding world events and how we might add this as a prayer into our love for our fellow human beings. He says, above anything else, let's turn into the comforting thought that there is a love in the universe that by its very presence dissolves all hate, a faith in God that neutralizes all fear, confidence that brushes aside every doubt. So as we embrace the things that are taking place in the world, we do so with a confidence and a faith in a love that can dissolve all hate and all fear. So now, sharing this video, Reverend Edward, he is our community spiritual leader. He's our version of the Pope in our philosophy. He just introduces and sort of wraps up this month's theme. And I wanted to start off, one, by honoring him. He was my minister in Santa Rosa for the many years that I was there. And I'm just so delighted with the way he's able to really speak to what our theme is for today. So enjoy this brief summary by Reverend Edward.
Hello, I am Reverend. March's suggested theme is Open to Possibilities. And here are the suggested topics: living in the question, release and let go, with open arms, and commit to transformation. So clearly, this month, as we talk about being open to possibilities, we must speak of the spiritual practice called visioning. Now, you may be familiar with another spiritual practice called visualization. That's the method of forming a mental image of some desired good. In the way of visualization, we might begin with an idea in mind, something that we want to experience, and then we use our beautiful imagination to add details to it. What does it feel like? What does it look like? How do I want this particular good to be part of my life? Now, visioning is a little different. Instead of starting with an idea of some good in mind, we begin with the practice of openness. We might say we release and let go of our thoughts, or you could say even start with emptying your mind. In reality, we can't empty our minds of ideas. What we can do, though, is adopt an attitude of openness by silently asking ourselves a question, such as, what in divine mind is the highest idea for my life? When I'm practicing visioning, I ask myself such questions almost as if I were addressing an incredibly wise being, like the oracle at Delphi, but one that I don't have to travel long distances to see, because it is a presence that is conveniently located in my own consciousness. And then, once we've inquired within, we are to adopt an attitude of openness. We mentally open our arms to catch what comes into awareness. Not only do we adopt an attitude of openness, but we also try to let go of preconceived ideas as much as possible. And there is something else we have to deal with. The nature of the voice of the presence within, similarly to the oracle's response at Delphi, it can be mysterious and not immediately apparent. Do you know that people would travel great distances to consult the oracle and had to bring gifts, and they had to purify themselves before the consultation? It was a profoundly serious undertaking, maybe even a once-in-a-lifetime journey, to be approached with commitment, mindfulness, sincerity, and openness. Heraclitus, the ancient Greek philosopher, explained it like this, saying, the Lord, whose oracle is at Delphi, neither indicates clearly nor conceals, but gives a sign. I love that. In other words, the utterances of the oracle were famously ambiguous and had to be mindfully interpreted. I mention this because the spiritual practice of visioning shares some elements with the ancient visions of the oracle. Visioning is an inner practice. Now, it may require no journey and no third party between you, me, and the divine. It starts with the idea that the divine can be expressed within us in a unique way. And here's where it has something to compare with the oracle. Because this good, unique way may be something new, maybe something we've never experienced or known before, we may have to interpret what comes through. Now, as with all spiritual practices, we do well to prepare ourselves before we vision. You could call that purification, if you will, or centering, or meditating. It's whatever you and I do to attain a calm attitude of mind before we get into the questions, before we ask, what is Spirit's highest idea of itself as my life? As an individualized expression of the one infinite reality, we have access to infinite wisdom and intelligence, the intelligence of the ultimate reality. And it flows through us, well, to the degree that we set our previous ideas aside and become larger, more willing channels for it to express. Contributors to this month's content are Rainbow Weldon, Alan David Young, Virginia Firestone, Juanita McCoy, Jeffrey Ryan, and Colleen Tanaka. My blessings to you.
Thank you, Reverend Edward. He has just so beautifully introduced this topic of visioning, which is a tool for transformation. And early in my experience of Centers for Spiritual Living, I was able to learn about this spiritual tool called visioning from Michael Beckwith. And many of those of you who've been part of this movement for a long time recognize his name. He started off as a religious science practitioner and minister. Before that, he was a drug dealer. And then he found science of mind, and it transformed his life. And he is doing amazing work. And he synthesized the steps of visioning, in which I'll share in a moment. And he says that the purpose of visioning is not simply about the narrow confines of our personal fulfillment. It's an expansion of our consciousness into the realization of our true self. And so part of visioning, and Reverend Edward spoke to this, visioning is a time where we set aside our preconceived ideas about something. We meditate, we cleanse ourselves so that we can be open to the mysterious guidance that sometimes doesn't always make sense in visioning. But there, over time, what that means often reveals itself. And so Eckhart Tolle, who many of you are familiar with, he wrote a beautiful book called The Power of Now. And he says it this way: true intelligence operates silently. Stillness is where creativity and solutions to problems are found. Stillness is where creativity and solutions to problems are found. And so often when we have challenges, we are trying to figure them out from a mental standpoint. And the steps of visioning can really help us let go of trying to figure things out and open to the guidance of spirit in our lives. And so I want to talk about the steps in visioning. For those who have been part of this movement for a while, you may have taken classes in visioning. And if you're part of leadership in any way, you know that we use visioning as a way to get the larger guidance from the larger consciousness in the group. So I'm going to invite Marina to bring this slide up big so that those watching can see this. Now, here's the invitation. If you're not familiar with visioning, I'm going to invite you to take out your phone and take a picture of these 4 questions that are on the screen, because you won't be able to write them down fast enough. And if you don't have your phone nearby, that's okay. If you want to have a list of these questions, if you just Google Michael Beckwith and the steps of visioning, you will see these. But I want to just touch on each one of them because we only have a few minutes this morning. But to invite you, if you're new to visioning, you can ask for help to have someone guide you through this. Ask one of the practitioners or a minister or someone who's familiar with visioning, and it can change your life. The visioning process has been a foundation in my spiritual practice. Once I was introduced to it by Michael Beckwith back in 1990, when I was introduced to it. I use this process, have used it over and over and over for my personal life and decisions, and have worked with organizations and teams to help to open up what is wanting to emerge. So, as Reverend Edwards spoke about, the very first question, what is the highest vision for if my life or my work, or if you're working with a group? What we're doing is letting go of any preconceived ideas and asking a question. What is the highest vision for whatever we want to put in there? And what we're doing is we're listening. We listen for a thought, a picture, a feeling. And as Edward talked about, sometimes we don't always understand what it means, but that's okay. The invitation is to just open to a greater possibility. And then after taking time to listen in a meditative way, then we would ask the next question, who must I become to manifest this vision? Who must I become for this vision to manifest? So often when there is a larger vision for our lives, we need guidance on who do I need to be so that I can fulfill that vision. We need to become more often. We need to kind of step up and step in so that we can be the vehicle for that vision to manifest. One of the very important questions is, what must I let go of to bring this vision fully into being? What must I let go of? And very often in the visioning process, what will come up in this part of the question is often we need to let go of preconceived ideas. We need to let go of fear and doubt. Often there are past experiences that are still unfinished or unhealed. Possibly there's a need for forgiveness of ourselves or others. And so this third question of visioning is really very important. And it also is what can sort of break the dam of obstacles when we recognize, what do I need to let go of to make room for this greater life and this transformation? The last question, envisioning, what strengths, capacities, and talents do I already possess to make this vision a reality? This is a wonderful question to reflect on, realizing that we have strengths, we have capabilities, and we have talents that are already there. And so sometimes we sort of forget that we have these amazing resources available to us. And so all we have time to do today is really to sort of introduce what the visioning process is. And I want to just return to this idea of a quote by Michael Beckwith. All spiritual growth, 100% of it, is about releasing and eliminating rather than attaining something, because we already have it. Spiritually, we know that we are whole, we are complete. We have everything that we need available to us. And part of our transformation is letting go and eliminating the things that don't serve us. I love the analogy of the butterfly, and it's a spring metaphor for all of us, that there are chapters in our lives, and we're crawling along the earth as a caterpillar, doing the best we can, and there comes this time in nature where the caterpillar creates the cocoon. I don't think the caterpillar knows what's coming. The caterpillar doesn't know that its life is going to dissolve as it has known it. It's going to dissolve into goo. But what's so beautiful in this metaphor of the caterpillar and the butterfly is there is a universal wisdom. There is an intelligence that knows the pattern and the transformation into a butterfly. And so if in your life you are going through experiences that feel like you're dissolving into goo, things may be falling away. Relationships, health, finances. Sometimes our greatest experiences, our greatest transformation comes from the release and letting go of something old to make room for something new. So what are you ready to transform in your life? What's wanting to emerge in you? In your work, in your creative endeavors, is there something that's wanting to expand and grow and transform? Maybe there's something that wants to change and expand and transform in your relationship or your relationships. What is wanting to emerge with your health and well-being? What is wanting to emerge and change in your finances? This is a time and a season of new growth and rebirth and celebration, often of the death of an old life and resurrection of a new life, new possibilities. So my invitation for all of us is to make a commitment to transformation. Make the best of what's falling away and open to possibilities. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said this in a talk that we call Sermon by the Sea. His talk says, "We are taking, I trust, a vision, something beyond a hope and a longing, that the living Spirit shall through us walk anew into its new creation, and a new glory come with the dawn." His Sermon by the Sea was actually the last public talk that Ernest Holmes gave at Asilomar in 1959. Those of you who've been to the Asilomar Conference Center know that this used to be our summer retreat for 50 years or more. And it was his vision for our global philosophy to grow and expand. And so I just invite us to join me in saying our closing affirmation. I relax and behold God's grace unfolding in my life. So turn within with me now and just breathe. Breathe in the glorious possibilities of this season of spring. We breathe in the glorious possibilities of transformation. We commit to infinite possibilities and transformation in our lives. So I am knowing right here, right now, that there is just one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. I am knowing in this moment that as I speak this word for myself, I speak this word for all those in the sound of my voice. I am knowing and affirming in this very moment that everything about this life is unfolding in perfect and divine order, no matter what the appearance might be, that there is a bigger vision, there is a bigger possibility for our own personal lives and for the lives of those in our community, in our country, and in our world. There is a divine intelligence and wisdom that is guiding and directing all things, all people, all ideas. And so today, I know and affirm for each one of us, as we step into this commitment of transformation, that we have everything that we need, that Spirit is guiding and directing each one of us in the perfect and right time and in the perfect and right way. And as we turn within to that place of inner stillness, there is that still small voice waiting to guide us and reveal what it is that is wanting to emerge. So I give thanks for this opportunity to speak this word, knowing that as we release and let go of those things that no longer serve us, that we step forward gloriously into a new life and a rebirth, just like the butterfly, emerging from a cocoon of unknowing and bursting forth with color, with joy and possibilities, and being able to lift up and fly. So I give thanks for this beautiful vision and hope and possibility for all of us. It is with great joy I release this prayer. I let it go. And join me in saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Hannah. Have a beautiful day. So I encourage those of you that have never used the visioning process to try it. It is very, very powerful. And I think as we're emerging from the COVID crisis and it's springtime and we need to make changes in our lives, many of us, that visioning really might be the tool that helps you through that process. So, okay. So we're still spreading the love. You can contribute 3 different ways to help support our center. You can give by text, which the number is on the screen. You can give online with Breeze or PayPal, or by mail. I pick it up every week. So we've got our P.O. box, and I'm happy to take your checks and cash them and deposit them into our wonderful fund. The book club, Sue, on Tuesdays is still, they're reading The Untethered Soul and having, I hear, just wonderful discussions about what that book means and how it impacts everyone's life. So join them if you can. You're more than welcome to join at any time. We're still searching for that perfect minister. Please keep that in your mind, heart, and prayers, because we know collectively we have more of an impact. You can visit our website or Facebook page for more information. Join the community conversation. As always, we have on our Zoom link at noon, where we generally talk about just lots of different things, but impactfully what the speaker had to say, and maybe some of our views of how it impacts our lives. So join us, please. We are here to support you. Our community care circle is still here. Our practitioners are more than willing to pray with you. Whatever you need, please call us or email us. We're here to help you and support you. So next Sunday, we have Eugene Holden, who is an old friend of ours. He keeps coming back, and we're so grateful that he does. And also a Reverend Elijah Christopher the following. So join us. We're so glad that you do, whether it's live or whether you watch us later. So now we'd like to end our service with our closing affirmation. We're going to bring all the faces up. Oh, there's Marita. So something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all that I do.
I am it. I embrace it, and I share it.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is becoming.
Thank you.
Thank you, life.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you on Zoom.
Okay, I'll miss you.
Thank you, Reverend Hannah.
Thank you.